Back YouTube to another video. It's been a minute since I posted, but yeah, I'm feeling really motivated to share this trade recap that I took, A+ setup, and yeah, I just wanted to show you guys a bit of my thought process going into the trade. Maybe it can help a few of you guys out. So let's get started because oh my goodness, it's like a sauna in my room. I'll even show you. Look, this is the I don't know if you can actually see that the lighting's bad, but look at Perth right now. It's 37 degrees, so it's super hot here. So I won't be too long. But yeah, so you can see we're covering the price action or the trade I took on December 9th, okay? So going into my journal, I'll go into the winning trade. I did take a loss before the winning trade, which kind of lowered my P&L, but it is what it is. It was still a good setup that I took, but it was too early. I didn't wait for time of day, okay? So I'll explain that in this video. So let's just start with a top-down analysis. So you can see when I journal, I take a screenshot of each time frame. So the daily, 4 hour, 1 hour, 15 minute, 5 and 1 minute. Okay. Just so I can get a full story of the trade every time I'm looking back, and looking back at my data, I can see exactly what trade I took. So obviously, I'm not going to go too in depth in the daily time frame, but you can just kind of see here, price is looking very bullish. Okay, that's pretty much all you need to know. Price is looking bullish. And on the 1 hour, let's go in the 1 hour because it's one more zoomed in. You can see this is the range that we're working with. Now, since price swept these ERL targets, you can see buy set up here and all-time highs up here. You can see I'm looking for price to rebalance into discount of the range. So you can see this is the range drawn out of fib tool. The green is where I'm looking for price to rebalance into that. Okay. Now, this is the 15 minute. Okay, now I know this looks really messy, but I promise it will make sense when I explain it. But let me just actually get up my other resource right here. So, okay, cool. So coming into the day, I was expecting a London protraction or hoping for a London protraction. So you can see classic London protraction right here at this model. And what it basically is where London, so midnight opens up. So you can see by this dotted line right here, midnight opens up. And I'm looking for an open. So look at my mouse here, open. We accumulate a little bit. And then a high, low, close. So when I'm looking for an open, high, low, close, I'm looking for London to put in the high and then go lower into New York. Okay, so price opened up, we accumulated a little bit, and then we manipulated above all-time highs. Okay, so we manipulated above all-time highs. We have SMT, as you can see. We have SMT here with ES. They took their previous day AM session high was up here, so it's a time-based liquidity. Theirs was way up here, and we obviously way above our previous day AM session. So thus we have SMT, bearish SMT. Now you can see kind of obviously on hindsight it looks really clear, but you can see open, high, low, then we close somewhere in between here. So obviously it's on hindsight it looks really clear, but I did take this trade live. So here midnight opened up and we can see we have this low resistance liquidity run here. So you can see it's annotated by this LR, and we have the SMT, and we just accumulated here. Now the range I'm talking about is right here. You can see between this low and this high, and you can see by this fib tool, the 50%, the equilibrium, like this is how you know markets are super engineered. You can see right here, the 50% level is right by the sell side level, this low. The swing low in this gap is exactly like to the tick, exactly the 50% of this range. So obviously this is a target for my take profit, and I had another target here being this 50-minute gap. Why? Because we have a sweep of an external range liquidity right here. Okay, so that's an ERL sweep, and now price is looking to rebalance into discount of the range, so 50% of the range, and preferably in an IRL target within discount. So you can see we swept the ERL, this blue line, which is our external range liquidity, swept it, and we go lower, and target being discount of this range. Okay, that's the basis of the trade, and that's what I'm looking for. Now, actually, if you don't believe me, let's go into the trade right here. You can see before I take any trades for the day, I come here to what are your expectations coming into the trading day. Now, this is exactly what I put. I put this image in before 9:30 opened up. So 9:30 is about here, and I wanted price as soon as price opens up, New York opens. I wanted price to rebalance into 50% of this range now, this internal range, 50% of that into this 15-minute breaker that you can see in this pink box before going lower into my drawn liquidity. So that was my trade idea, and if it didn't happen, I wouldn't be taking a trade. So if we go into the trade right here, you can see that we got exactly that. You see this little wick? So wicks do the damage, bodies tell the story. I know you guys have all heard that one. So you can see the wick, we wicked right into that equilibrium of the range. So you can see this range right here, 50% is right here, and that's exactly into this 15-minute breaker. Now, it sounds a bit contradictory, right? Like, why am I looking for price to rebalance into discount when we've swept ERO? So we swept ERO here. Why am I looking for price to rebalance into discount of this range and not just 50% like this one? Well, I'll tell you why. Because we are supported by a breaker right here. So you can see, obviously in this range, I'd preferably like price to rebalance into a premium IRL. So we can see there's a small gap here. There's a bigger gap here. Now that would be a better retracement, right? But look, we have this 15-minute breaker. So when there's a breaker present, typically price doesn't need to rebalance into premium in this instance. So we just tap the breaker, which is about this 50% level, and then we push lower. Okay. Now I'll talk more on the time aspects right now. Okay. Now you might want to take notes because this happens pretty much every day. And not saying this exact setup, classic ladder protraction, but I'm saying these timed elements are happening all the time, and you need to learn them to become profitable. Okay, so time trumps price any day. So you can see, look, exactly what I'm looking for is this model here. So we can see price opens up. Now this is open, high, low, close, right? So we open up here and we close here. Now we're looking for manipulation higher above the opening price. So opening day price. Look for price to manipulate higher into a key level. Now, obviously, I have a fair value gap right here, but this can be an ERL target, like a buy side target. We sweep that with SMT in time of day, guys. 225. That's what I'm looking for to happen. And what do? We got that at 3 o'clock right here. You can see 3 o'clock exactly put in the high of day, which should be our London session, put in the high. And then what are we looking for? We're looking for price to close below the last the last series of up close candles. We're looking for price to close below that, which is our change of state of delivery. So we've got that here. And then price to go lower. And then 7 to 10, because this is already a high of day, we don't need price to go a bit higher. So we're looking for 7 to 10 to make a retracement high. So right here we have this 50% level, looking for price to rebalance to equilibrium and into a premium IRL right here with SMT, and then go lower into the drawn liquidity. Now what happened? We got exactly that. This is our range right here. Price comes back up into the key level right here. And what do we have? We have a timed high, guys. So 9:30 high of session. So you can see here's a better drawing, so it's a bit more clear for you guys. But you can see our key level was swept. Now I wish I could have this side by side for you to see. But if you can actually look up here, I don't know if you can see it. No, maybe not. But I really want to see it. How can I do this? So you guys just have a look at this chart. Okay, so we have the ERL swept up here, SMT, retracement high at 7 to 10, and then 10 to 12 puts in the low. Now look at this one. 2 to 5 makes a high above our key level. What is that? 3 o'clock. This is London Open. 3 o'clock, put in a high. We have SMT. Between SMT, ES, with ES and previous AM session. So we have our SMT, and then we have our close below the last up close candles. So we can see our changes to the delivery level right there. We close below that, and then we form another range, guys. So this is our range: high, low, 50%. I want price to rebalance into that between 7 to 10. Now this is our range: high, low, 50% taps, 50% taps, and then we have a 9:30 high of session. So to confuse you guys even more, this is what I look for. So this is the daily open, high, low, close. So open, high, low, close. Now I'm looking for this exact, because price is fractal, guys. Price is fractal. I'm looking for this exact same model to happen in the lower time frame. So you can see between here we have 8:30 to 10 puts in a high. So this is again internal, obviously. So you can see between 7 to 10 puts in a high. But more specifically, I'm looking between 8:30 to 10 to put the high. Now, why 8:30 to 10? Well, if you think about it, what do we have? We have 8:30 news on some days, which is what? A volatility. We have 9:30, which is also volatility. It's market open. And then we have 10. Sometimes we have 10 o'clock red folder news. So that could also be volatility. So I'm looking for price to reach this level between obviously 8:30 and 10, which is mainly where our manipulation happens. So if 8:30 puts in the high up here, what's 9:30 going to do? Boom, expand lower. Okay, so obviously on a Monday, no 8:30 news. I'm looking for 9:30 to put in this retracement high because that's our only volatility in the market for this day. So what happens? 9:30 puts in the high of session. Okay, high of session's been put in, and now I'm looking for low to be put in between 10:30 and 11. Okay, 10:30, 11, which is falls between 10 and 12, obviously. So what happens? Price goes lower. We tap our key level and we push lower, right into our. We smash right through our target actually. But you can see on the lower time frame here on the 5-minute, you can see we put in a low at 10:30. So you can see how this works. This works every single time, and that's how you start to read price and read time. Okay, so this is the exact trade I took. So enough blabbering. This is the exact trade. So price came in. So 9:30 is supposed to put in the hive session, right? We got that at 9:30, and then actually on the 5-minute, it's more clearer. See 9:30, put in the high up here, and then price comes in, closes below this last up close candle, which is what I'll change the state of the So I took the trade here, with stops at the high, and then as soon as we got the close here, price started going lower, and then we pushed right back up, swept me out. Okay, I was using liquidity, swept my stop, and then we put in another high here at around 9:50 or so with SMT. So again, I'm like, okay, this is actually tapped our 15-minute. This is tapped the equilibrium. Before we were just in this 5-minute gap right here. But this is where I really wanted price to come in. So we came back here. This is a fake. This is just a Judas swing right here. We come here, SMT. Now I'm like, okay, ES is pushing a lot lower, and then NQ came up one more time to sweep the stops. So we have SMT, and this is when I was looking for my second trade, which ended up being the W. You can see it here on the 3-minute. We have this 3-minute gap. Now I wanted this 3-minute gap to completely inverse before I take the trade. So you can see the gap inversed right here with the closure below the low here. And I took the trade off that, stops at the high. And this is a protected high because we have SMT, so it shouldn't come back up there unless my bias is wrong. So I put the low in, I enter right here. And then I was actually quite conservative with it, with obviously the sell side plus the 50% equilibrium level. That's where I took my take profit. But you can see on the 15-minute, this is my take profit right here, this sell side level. But I should have left runners, but because I was actually away from my computer at the time, I set the trade and I walked off. And that is exactly why I shouldn't have done that, but I would have taken it, obviously, TP here. So again, yeah, this was my TP, but obviously you can see I journaled it before the trade happened. I wanted to take profit into discount, which is this discount, PDRA. So we have this 50-minute gap. And there was also a 1 hour gap here. So this is where my full TP would have been. But you can see this just trade played out perfectly. We have a high of day between 2 to 5 with SMT and liquidity sweep, ERL swept. Come lower, 50%, gets tapped, 15-minute breaker, change state of delivery, retest between 7 to 10. Because we have no news on 8:30 or 10, 9:30 is most likely going to do the high. So 9:30 put in the high. And then, boom, straight to 11 o'clock. You can see 11 put in the low. Okay, so price actually ended up coming all the way down to previous day low, but here is my conservative TP level. So you can see again, whatever model you trade, if you trade AMP, so accumulation, or AMD, sorry, accumulation, manipulation, distribution. So you can see price accumulated here, boom, 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 boom. Manipulation between time of day. So a lot of people don't know what time of day means, but between London. So you can see London swept the high, manipulated, and then immediate rebalance lower. And then accumulation again, retest 50% level, and then distribution all the way to the low. So that was the trade I took. Super A plus. And yeah, so guys, I really appreciate the comments in the last video. not the last video, in the journal video. It's getting a lot of support now, so I really appreciate you guys. But yeah, if you guys want to get your hands on a journal that you can actually journal every single trade, like I do, you can start putting the pros and cons, the emotions, how I felt, and also something that also helps me psychologically is, am I taking the right trades? Because I used to take trades left, right, and center, and it wasn't always fitting my trading plan criteria. And obviously, I have a resources page within the Notion where I have a checklist of exactly what I'm looking for. And if it does not exactly follow the checklist, then obviously I'm not following my rules and I'm not following my edge. Therefore, I will be taking unnecessary losses. So I started doing this. Does this trade meet my trading plan criteria? Obviously, this one does. And then I like to also journal my emotional state out of 10. So you can see here we have 10 to 1. So obviously 10 is highly emotional on both sides of the spectrum. So you have obviously highly confident and highly prideful of like, oh yes, this is so easy. I can just do this every single day. I know more than the market. That's when you become very like confident and egotistical and arrogant. And that's when the market will humble you. So obviously you don't want to be a 10 in that sense. And you also don't want to be very frustrated, angry, pissed off. And that's also very emotional on the other side of the spectrum. So you want to be preferably in the green, where you're very neutral, whether it was a loss or a win, you don't care because you're following your edge. And over a specific amount of trades, you will be profitable. So that's exactly why I was a 2 on this trade. I just didn't, I even walked away. I took the trade, I literally walked away, and I was doing something downstairs. But yeah, I took the trade and I didn't have to look at it because I actually don't care. I don't care if it was a loss or not because I know this happens all the time and I always catch these wins. So I have edge in my system. And then obviously I journal some refine myself able to do that. But yeah, that's the journal, guys. So if you guys wanted to support it, there's actually a link in the bio. You guys can get one for yourself. It's very comprehensive. There's a lot of sections where you can actually start journaling. And yeah, guys, so that'll be the video. It's very hot. I'm going to go to the beach. I'll catch you guys soon in another video. So yeah, peace out.